chasing clicks today. Chasing the algorithm. You don't have... Oh, you do have the
This
thing
could
on.
be... This actually has the potential just to at least have people go, that's interesting.
Maybe.
Some people that have had thoughts. We have thoughts. How about you?
Do we? I don't know that our track record bears that out.
Curious about what your thoughts are, because I feel
Well,
like
I'm curious...
it's similar, but it may not be exactly the same.
Uh-oh. I didn't ask to start. I was going to leave it on the... Okay. Well. Okay, well, all right. This is the... Okay, good. I can leave it here, I hope. I'm curious because I don't know how much you knew going in, and we didn't...
I intentionally did not know a great deal.
I mean, how much did you know?
I knew he was creating a movie.
Did you know even this?
No, I didn't know the actual
This
synopsis.
is as much of the game as I knew the basic premise and like what you do in the game.
Yeah.
That was it though.
But I mean...
I went into it intentionally.
Not from lack of... I had this ready for several weeks, but it just didn't work out. So now we're playing it after the fact.
I think that actually is an interesting take.
Well, if only because most people probably won't have done it this way.
Sure.
Well, I suppose there's probably
My first
a decent
question
chunk
is,
of his fans who maybe don't know the game but just watched it because of him. But if they did watch it because of him, then probably they watched him play the game.
Sure.
So they probably still
But here's
know
my
more
question. Why this one?
I don't know.
Were there other developers that just refused to work with him? Was this one a standout game to him?
Apparently. I never really followed. By the time he played this, I wasn't really watching much anymore just because of life. But I knew that he was like super a big fan of the game. And that apparently was enough.
I was glad that I went into it blind because all of the movies that I have enjoyed permanently, I would say that, because there are some movies that I enjoy initially and then I'm like,
Having thought through it, it's not the greatest movie because of this, that, and the other thing.
I don't know that the blind thing makes that difference, though.
Well, for me, sometimes it does. I mean, I feel like there's a greater...
Because you're saying that the going into it blind affects the long-term opinion, and I would disagree. I think going into it blind may affect the short-term.
For me, it's that if I have a preconceived
notion of something, it's more difficult to unfasten that from my...
wouldn't that fade over time?
Yeah.
So why would it be that, like...
I guess that's not
always true, because Locker was not my favorite. And I went to that completely blind.
Maybe you should try it again, then, now that you know. Now that you know what you're looking for.
Now that I know what I'm sitting through, I'm teasing.
Now that you know what you're not paying enough attention to, in fact.
But,
So you didn't even know the setting. I was curious. I
did not know the setting, but
well,
I
then
will
that
say,
makes you an interesting test
it,
case of how much you... How well did you follow along? And we're going to be spoiling immediately.
So I followed it fairly well in that I think that they did a good job at keeping I would say this, tonally, it made sense. Because
tonally. I suppose we should talk about the fact that, yes, we are addressing the film that just came out.
Iron Lung.
We figured it would have been obvious, but some of you were dumb.
Wow. And half the fan base.
Well, you're here, so it's a reasonable assumption.
But at the same time, I felt like tonally it made sense, and I appreciated the fact that they kept you in the dark to some degree, because that's largely how the character himself
was feeling, and so it fits.
So
I don't know. I knew enough, and there was enough that backshadowing, kind of foreshadowing of what was happening or occurring, that I felt like it didn't make it impossible to follow.
That being said, I am curious.
It was pretty hard to follow.
What this game is going to do for
me. Who knows?
Because I actually really
enjoyed the movie for the sake of... I went into it thinking it was going to be almost suspense, like horror-ish.
That is how at least it was described.
And it's not as much. I would say it's more...
Yeah, I never found it scary. Then again, I've also always said that horror films shouldn't try to scare you. What they should try to do is sort of
creep you out, which again is returning
stick under
to
your
more
skin a little bit.
It's going back and returning to the Lovecraftian
it's
vibes.
very cosmic, and I don't know if that's in the game or not. So from my perspective, I knew basically all that was in this screen. I knew of the basic premise, and that the whole point of the game is that you just explore the sea, see what you find, and that weird things happen. Now, whether or not the weird things that happen are the same weird things that happen in the movie, I don't know. There's probably a good deal of Easter egg / context that I might have had I played this before. So I would say it's not easy to follow if you haven't played the game. Now, that may not be the fault of the film. That may be just like probably you're expected to at least be somewhat familiar. It's also meant to be mysterious.
Right.
It's like,
I was about to say, with those kinds of movies, I was less, I think, bothered by that just because I wasn't bothered.
But there was a part of me that was like, how much of this is the reason I'm not following because I haven't played the game, or is it because I'm not supposed to, or is it because the theater was weirdly quiet for some reason?
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know why that was the case, but it kind of was.
Anybody that pertains to the actual, how
The public is
I don't know if that was just this theater, or if maybe, I don't know. I doubt it was
definitely whoever.
Or maybe it's just mixed quiet. Although I don't know if that happens. I have no clue about film.
There were certain things that were loud, so maybe it was just a mix issue. But I could see where,
if I had been watching it at home with headphones, which is what I usually do for movies, not in the theater, obviously, I probably wouldn't have. I imagine it would have been clearer.
Which begs the question: is it a matter of somebody who is unfamiliar with mixing to a Dolby surround sound for theater?
Be.
I mean,
who knows?
Or
was it just this theater?
Or it could just be this theater being rear end. So
who knows? So I will say, opinions summarized in a short bit. I was impressed with the production value, and that's honestly, as I was sitting, as it started eating nachos, I'm like, if this turns out to be nothing more than an elaborate fan film, I'm down.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting to eat nachos and watch a Markiplier fan film because I won't say he's done things like this before, but this is not out of left field for him.
Right.
So it's like, if this is just an elaborate skit, which he's done before, then okay.
Yeah, to your point about the production value and quality,
and for an indie debut, I'm like,
it did not give me Forward Unto Dawn vibes. It was better than that.
Well, see, now that's saying something, because that was not an indie debut. That was made by the people who make Halo.
Yeah, but it wasn't as good.
Well, for what reasons? On a production level or on a story level? Because, Forward Unto Dawn didn't have bad production value. It just didn't utilize the source material fully.
Maybe.
To its fullest extent.
Sorry, continue.
Well, I would just say on a production level, I was impressed. Which is sort of the obvious, let's get that out of the way commentary. I suppose it didn't have to be obvious. There's people who have a whole lot more funding and allegedly more experience who make worse things.
Disney.
So, what?
I whispered Disney because that's the most obvious answer.
Yeah, somehow.
They have gads of money and all they do is just.
Well, and that's why I wanted to support it. That's why I wanted to support it, is, if anything, is just because, I suppose the only reason I knew about it is because I was a fan of his previously. But even if I hadn't been, if it was like, hey, some random YouTuber who plays games decided to make a movie of a game he really liked, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's sad how a creative team with passion is like a selling point now. So you just go, oh, this guy made this just because he likes the game. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I don't think Disney does that anymore.
We may get into that because that, I feel like, is more the reason why I actually received the film better than some of the other movies I've seen with maybe a higher budget or production quality. Well, it's like when you think of things, just spitting them out, like the Halo show, not the Forward Unto Dawn movie, but the actual Halo show, which was hot buggery. Hot buggery, yeah.
Or the Witcher series, or it's just like so much.
That one was hard.
So
I wanted
much
to
stuff,
like that one, and it just
there's so much stuff where it's like you don't. Not only is it clear that you don't like the source material, because we can tell, it's odd how for free they are with explaining that to people. Just like, yeah, we didn't read the books, and it's like, well, what did you do?
You just grabbed the
Like
idea.
the Halo people were like, yeah, we're not basing it off the games. And I'm like, you sure as heck ain't basing it on the books, so what are you basing it on? Because the Witcher people, it makes sense to be like, oh yeah, we haven't played the games. I'm like, well, they were books first, so fair enough. If you're going to say we're not adapting the games or adapting the books, that's a fair line in the sand. But that isn't it. They were just like, yeah, we haven't read the books.
Own anal gland
Like, yeah,
secretions.
we haven't read the books or played the games, but for some reason I got put into this role. And it's like, whose uncle owns the studio?
Who's on
Either that or who are you getting with?
Who the hell are you?
Who's paying your bills, if you know what I mean?
Wow.
Well,
Or how are you paying them?
yeah, well, that's true. How did you get into this position then? If you don't like the source
They'll
material,
show you, I promise.
maybe if I give them loads of money and an intellectual property to slap on something, they'll do whatever I ask. This is also why I'm hopeful but skeptical of the Warhammer that Henry Cavill's doing.
Yeah.
Now, the trouble with that is Amazon's involved, and it's like, I don't trust them. See, in some ways, it's a little bit sad that you're like, okay, it's only because he's an already massively successful YouTuber that he could do this,
Sure.
because he did it himself. And I'm like, if anything, if you just say a guy with a vision made a film on his own with his own budget, I don't care what it's about. I'll watch that just because I think those things should be supported.
But you also have to think about historically that not being without precedence when it comes to
Publishers have always been involved because films used to be very expensive.
Oh yes, films. But I'm saying, like, think about somebody like Charles Dickens. He literally went, "Screw all of you! I'm going to produce this book," and then he did it, and it was the most.
Yeah, but he was only able to do that because of his name. He had to borrow loads of money.
In the same
to
way
do that.
Markiplier did. That's my point.
No, he paid for this. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not out of pocket. I don't know, but he as far as I understand, he paid for and distributed this himself.
Right. That's my point. And it could be that he ends up making a significant dividend in that because
I mean, in some eyes, he probably will. Because it's when you solo publish, you can either completely fall flat or you can make boatloads of cash.
yeah.
I mean, that's why George Lucas is never. He's basically said in interviews, "Oh yeah, I still make films. I just don't publish them anymore because I don't have to. I made all my money on the Star Wars sequels or prequels, and there you go." It's like, well, fair play.
And he sold his soul.
He's now literally opening a museum because of all the cash he's got. And it's like, well, see, this is going back. Okay, I'm going to derail. Because you mentioned, I suppose, listening back to your attempt to discuss the modern aristocracy and where you were going with that.
This is the
Yes,
massive derailing.
I'm pivoting, but that's where I realized I came out with a very cynical response, perhaps because of my mood, at the time. But there is also something to be said for, like, I suppose you could consider George Lucas to be a member of the modern aristocracy in a sense.
Right.
Because you just go, who else has the money to build a museum for stuff that only they're interested in?
Right.
It's like it used to be the case that's like, yeah, people who were filthy rich did whatever they wanted, and sometimes that was cool.
Well, and I guess that's what
is
I'm
it
getting
entirely
at
for
is
his own.
I would be the kind of person. My wife tells me if I was independently wealthy, I would be insufferable, which is probably true.
Well, I don't know about insufferable.
But
if I was independently wealthy, I'd love to have people be like, "Hey, can you give me like $1 million for this indie film that I'm really interested in?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I don't even care if you make the money back.
Right.
If I had just boatloads of cash, I'd be like, $1 million, there you go.
Well, and that's my point, is I would want to be a part of substance.
Put my name in the credits. That's about all I ask.
Well, and like I told my wife, I said, I would want to build things that actually have lasting impact, not just in like like my legacy, but more like.
Then here's what, this is exactly what, I almost said David Cameron, who's the former Prime Minister of England. James Cameron is the director. This is exactly what he does, is basically he makes films that only are interesting to him.
Right.
Because he can do that. It's just sad that he's uninteresting.
Well, okay.
Spent 30 years working on one franchise, and it's not a good franchise.
That's true, but he also, yeah.
That's all he's done. Pretty sure
James Cameron was...
Pretty sure since Avatar first came out, he's not made anything that wasn't part of that franchise.
Well, that's true, but surely you know what he did before then.
Well, yeah, but
okay.
I feel like his reputation's tarnished a little. Spielberg is the winner of that of the race.
Okay.
It used to be Cameron versus Spielberg.
Okay.
Well,
that was the definition of straw man.
No, there was a time when they were relatively equal. James Cameron. I keep wanting to say David Cameron. James Cameron and Steven Spielberg
is equal.
were at one point reasonably equally regarded. And I feel like Steven Spielberg has continued to prove why.
Sure.
And James Cameron's just navel gazing now.
Okay.
What I want is Henry Cavill to cross over the Warhammer with Avatar, and I want to see Pandora get Exterminatus.
I don't.
The real ones
disagree
know
with
that
you.
humanity was done wrong in those movies. I think everyone can agree. By everyone, I mean the right ones.
The first movie wasn't terrible in that.
Little bit.
The second one is dreadful, and I know it, and it's because they literally just carbon copied the first one and then just said, "Let's make that movie again."
Well,
It was the dumbest thing I ever saw.
Well, then they've made
That's
a third
why I
one.
literally haven't even given the third one even any look because I'm like, no.
No, yeah.
And there are people like I have friends that are like, "Oh yeah, it was good." I'm like, no.
Well, it's funny how society has pivoted where it's like the online consensus is, yeah, no, the humans are right. Like, screw you and your little paradise. There's actually, funnily enough, there's a tie-in game, which is a dumb
I
concept.
didn't know this.
That was, and so I'm stealing this comment from Yahtzee because his review of the game is hilarious, where he's like, it's all well and good to be, one with nature and this sort of peaceful, perfect nomadic people. It's like, that's all well and good when your planet literally provides you everything you could ever want always. It's like you don't really there's not much room to throw shade on the humans. It's like, okay, well, we come from a planet that doesn't just have free wireless internet in the trees. We actually have to scrape to survive. So yeah, we're coming here and we're taking your stuff.
We're taking you.
Anyways. No, we're
Okay.
not talking about any of that. We're talking about this.
Yeah.
Good movie. I didn't follow it as well as
I did enjoy it. I would. Are you comfortable enough rating it yet or not?
I don't know, because the issue is the production value I can give okay, I have nothing to say about that, because it's like, well, it was.
This is the reason I would submit that I thought, I haven't rated it yet, but I thought it was a good movie, is it left me intrigued, not confused.
I was a little confused. We're on the spoiler territory. When you have a heavy section of hallucination,
Psychosis, yeah.
it's like, that's a tough needle to thread.
It
in a
is, but
movie.
I felt like they did it decently.
Yes, by the end, I felt like, okay, I've got a grasp, which is as good as I think I could hope for, having no real familiarity with the source material.
Sure.
And so it's like, okay, I think I've got a grasp of what they tried to say happened. Eldritch strangeness,
Well, and the reality,
cosmic horror, and okay, I can get behind
well,
this.
and okay, so making sure that we kind of understood the same thing, because this would actually be a fairly good credit to the movie. My thought coming away from it was,
Well, the
what
middle
he
part
did-
was a hallucination.
right, and the bit when he finally kind of is like, okay, I'm going back, I'm doing this, and then when they say, well, you have to, like, you got to do this to get this information to us, he's still kind of battling that psychosis, but going, I'm not going to give in to that, and
Well, the question then is, I suppose, is it by the end, is it actually psychosis, or is it like, no, whatever the thing is actually doing that?
That's possible.
And that's where I'm going. Either way
is fine.
It
But
makes sense.
But my point is, he died having
Well, now
pursued giving.
I warned about spoilers.
Sorry, having pursued giving the information that was needed. Yeah, like that's kind of what we.
Well, yeah, he's obviously dead, presumably.
Well, yes, but I'm saying they kind of tease the who's the bad guy concept for a little bit, where it's like, is it the creature that is being, or whatever it is?
I never
or is it
really, even in the hallucination section, I was like, obviously, whatever he's hearing is meant to be wrong, if this is an actual eldritch being or if it's just him hallucinating.
By the
It's
way,
not good.
they do not shy away from drawing almost directly from source material when it comes to eldritch beings. Like, I was like,
No,
that's
it's bonier. It doesn't have tentacles.
sure, but I mean, it was, you know what I mean. I was looking at it going, oh, okay.
Well, but
this is
you-
one of these movies.
Well, yeah, and I didn't exactly know whether or not that was the case, because I know in the game that there is a thing in the ocean, like that's a thing, that's an encounter you can have is with a living thing. But whether or not it was just an animal or some sort of cosmic being, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Clearly, they went with the latter. I don't know if that's in the game or not.
It's interesting. I mean, I didn't come away from it going, I'm lost.
No,
that's
by
all
the
I'm
end.
saying.
For all the confusion it puts forth, probably to a certain degree on purpose, by the end it does, you go, okay, whether it was a hallucination or an actual like telepathic thing trying to seduce him or whatever, neither really affects, it's like, okay, either way it makes sense. The ending still tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go.
I suppose the reason I'm hesitant to give a rating as of yet is because all of this is on a technical side. And then the other side of a rating is like, okay, well, how did I feel about it? And I'm a little like, I'm impressed on a technical level. I don't know that I'm like, oh, wow, I resonate and I'm really invested. Maybe that's because
I enjoyed it in the same way that, like, I would put it in.
I don't think that that's necessarily a fault, is what I'll say. That may just be that I'm like, oh, okay.
I would put it in like second Matrix category because
It's oddly specific.
meaning
I like
the first
the second Matrix reasonably, though.
Right. The first Matrix was very much in the kind of the created, world that is similar to ours, whereas the second one, they actually spend a fair chunk of time outside of that and in the actual real world. And to me,
I like
that's what it
those,
felt
yeah.
like. I agree, but I'm saying that's what it felt like to me, was like, okay, I can get there where this is this kind of like post-apocalyptic vibes going on. And
That I knew from the beginning, so that was never the question.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I don't know that, like, I even went as far as to say, because when my wife, I initially had kind of described what we were going to see, it was like, oh, well, so it's a horror film. And it's like, well, maybe.
That is how they build it. And I wouldn't
classify it as that, in my opinion.
I wouldn't either, but I also can't think of a better place to put it.
Well, that's probably his dilemma, too. I mean, it was like...
Well, because horror, the thing about horror is that it is so ill-defined nowadays.
That's true.
Because it definitely, if you were to say, it's not a horror film in the usual sense.
We're just going to spend the whole entire video on the screen. We're not playing the game, just to let you know.
Spend the first chunk discussing, and then we'll get into it. Once we've at least exhausted the opinions. I never really felt like... Then again, I've also never found really a horror film that straddled the line to where I would still call it a horror film, but also gave...
Well, this one
the right kind of... Well, no, it didn't, I would say. And I don't mean this in a rude way. Because here's the thing. I've said it many a time already. Most of what people call horror films should really just be called thrillers.
Yes, agreed.
Because they're all about adrenaline and angst and chasing and threat and all that stuff. A horror film is meant to unnerve you, not so much scare you, in my opinion. It should creep you out and kind of stick under your skin rather than like, oh, I'm adrenaline and, things jump out and make you scream. That to me is like, not only is that not what I want from any film, I don't feel like that qualifies as horror by definition. This, I feel like by definition, it's like, well, it is horror in a sense, but I also didn't get the lingering unease.
See, I did the way that they initially...
Towards the end, it does get intense. I'll say that.
Well, like at the beginning, when they did the initial kind of pass by of the whatever the creature was, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be one of those like, something's over, or whatever.
No,
and that kind of did put my mind at a bit of unease and unrest, because you're going... And then, like, at one point, I kind of went, to myself, because the way that they had framed a particular shot, I felt like was really compelling in what they were trying to communicate, because it was when he's basically talking at this point to himself, trying to, please talk to me, I need it, whatever. And they keep filming it as if you're they put the audience in the position of the radio. And I'm like, wow, that's an interesting shot. I thought it was very useful in its.
Yeah, again, cinematically, I have no critique of it. I think it was done pretty well.
Which didn't surprise me when they used Red cameras. Those are great, by the way. Just a shameless plug to Red cameras.
Okay. I
They're
don't think it qualifies as a shameless plug if you have no association.
no, I'm saying like they are unequivocally my favorite. They're expensive as all get out, but they are great. So anyway, when I saw that, I was like, that makes sense. This is why
I suppose the thing about it, and this is where, again, I don't want to say this is criticism because they may not have been trying to do this. So I would just say I found it interesting, but I don't know that I was like, I like any particular character, because I suppose it's not a character show or
it's
movie.
not really driven by character.
No, it's
that's
driven
true.
by the setting.
Yeah.
And that makes it an inherently more cerebral thing than an emotional thing. And again, that's not a critique,
I would say this,
but I like my favorite films manage to do both, where it's like, here's a really heavy, high concept, but also here's characters that you're going to really like.
Well, and I unfortunately,
and you don't have
I
to
say
do both
this
of those
in
things.
love. You could tell that there's part of it is love Markiplier to death. He's not an actor.
I felt like he actually did pretty good.
Okay. He did okay, but there was
I'd say
certainly
more
some,
than okay.
Yeah, but there were certainly some scenes I was like, it's not coming through.
I suppose, ironically, it's not. A lot of
you
people
know
think.
what I mean? Like,
well, maybe you'll see if you agree with what I'm about to say. Some people think that really high, intense emotional scenes are the hardest to do.
no.
And I feel like a lot of actors say, actually, those are the easiest to get in.
Right.
And so I feel like in those moments when he has to be like intense and he's coming apart, he sells that.
Right. Agreed.
I suppose if you mean in some of the more subtle moments.
Like, especially at the beginning, I noticed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, at the beginning, though, it's like, well, nothing's happening at the beginning to warrant.
But it doesn't immediately pull me in. I just
suppose.
That's all I was saying. Like, again, I'm not saying like, oh, shame on him. He's not, that's not at all what I felt. I thought he did great, but I went, okay, yeah, I can. It feels like somebody that's been inserted into a movie. Like,
I wouldn't. That's a little harsh. I'd say I don't think he detracted from the experience by any measure.
that's true. That is true. He did great.
I mean, it's a heavy burden to basically carry a film solo. That's why I like Locke so much. It's because I feel like Tom Hardy does that phenomenally.
That kind of maybe reframes that movie for me a little
Well,
bit.
now you need to watch it.
So literally single-handedly carrying a movie on your back. That would be hard.
Exactly.
And that is what he does in Locke.
Locke does that flawlessly, and this you're going, well, for a first timer.
That statement I actually agree with. That's
Perfectly-
the first time within
perfectly
Locke I've
strong.
ever actually agreed with you about it.
About time. So anyways, Mark's not probably going to see this, but I had a good time.
I did enjoy it. Yes, I'm glad that he made it. That's all. I'll say that.
I'm glad that he made it, if only for the sake of the industry. Like, just we need people to prove that a small team. I mean, it was obviously more than just him. It was a full-size film team, but a small film team compared to other things. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the budget was, but it's like a small team who just makes a movie because they're passionate about the subject matter. Please give me that.
Going to
I want that regardless of how well it turns out. I mean, obviously, if it turns out crap, then, okay, that's sad.
My worry is that actually going to pan out? Because
I suspect he's going to make his, I mean, at the very least, he's going to make his money back.
But I'm talking culturally. What I want it to be is that actually culture bears that out too, where it's like, well, yeah, we want the stuff that actually has substance over and above the production value.
The awkward thing about that is I feel like that statement's been made. It's not like we're not saying that.
Why do businesses just give us the finger?
Because they can afford to still. I mean, like I said, back when Disneyland was closed during all the nonsense, I was like, the thing is, people are going, oh, I wonder when they're going to open back up. I'm like, here's the thing about Disney. They could never open back up ever. And they could still run for 1,000 years.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's not like they need the money. They could burn however much it costs to own Disneyland without letting people in is chump change to them.
Well, because
so they could never open Disneyland again, and they'd be fine.
What it is to open it and actually run it is also costly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
like the show alone is like, I think it's like $3 million or something like that for the fireworks show.
Well,
every
I'm saying
evening.
Purely
It's
the cost
absurd.
of owning the land and whatever upkeep it needs.
Right, exactly.
If they admitted nobody for decades, it's not like that would cost them anything.
Right.
So it's like they don't have to appease you because they have their money already.
Right.
I mean, they lose millions on pretty much everything they've done for the last several years. And it's like, you'd think, if that was me, I'd have learned my lesson day one.
Yeah.
If I somehow lost $100 million on an investment, I'd be like, what can I learn from this?
Well,
Not so.
I don't know. I find that when you have the diehard fans that are never going to say no to you, then
Well, who are they? I don't even know that they exist.
there's one in our family.
Let's see. If
I'm just saying, when you have those in whatever company, if you build a big enough fan base of yes men,
Well, but see, that's exactly what Disney has done
Exactly.
internally, much less.
that's my
It doesn't.
point.
So I'm not getting hard numbers, but I'm hearing estimates that it's under 3 million, which that's a lot of money, but that's
really
a
decent budget.
that's a lot of money for the layman. But like
Right.
Locke was around 2 million. We're just going,
Right.
That's chump change in the film industry.
Right, I agreed.
And if he's opened internationally, I mean, like, you're pretty much guaranteed to make your money back if you're selling it to the entire world.
I hope he does more and above that. I hope he actually
They
gets,
did, and they're saying this, I already heard this in the lead up to it, where it's like they broke records for the amount of blood used in a film, obviously.
Well, I feel like that's an unfair thing, though, because that's not even. Is it actually? To me, in order to contextualize something as blood, it has to
It is
actually be.
blood.
Yes, but I mean,
It's clearly from a living thing.
sure, but most of the time he's not even interacting with it. He's seeing it through a window. so I'm
Sure,
like,
but it's
okay.
except for the end. Plenty
Well,
of
sure.
interaction, and that's all on screen.
Yeah.
It's going, if you can fill a container that size with blood, that's a lot of, good sir, that's a lot of blood.
Sir, that's a lot of blood.
So anyways, so yeah, if he spent less than $3 million, I'm confident he'll make that back this weekend alone.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Even just domestically, he'd probably make that back this weekend alone. And then internationally, who knows?
Well,
So it's like
cheers
statements.
to Markiplier.
Yeah, so it's like I want, regardless of if it's guys, I don't know. I don't care much for PewDiePie, but if he did the same thing, I'd be happy and go, okay, yes. Random guy likes the thing so much he makes a movie about it out of his own pocket just because he has passion.
Yeah.
I want that. And the industry doesn't seem
Needs
to
that.
learn that that's what we want. I mean, it's
Or maybe it does, and it's just basically put it into the indie film category.
well, but see, the thing is, by nature, indie films don't get studio backing usually. I mean, they get maybe someone gives them some cash basically to get them to go away.
like a pat on their back. Yeah, exactly.
But it is weird. I mean, there's no doubt a certain degree to which I'm sure the industry knows that this is the best way to make money. I just think they may be well aware that they can't do it. Because the thing about this kind of a thing is just because you make a film and you have passion doesn't mean it's going to be good or make money.
Well, and the other
Now, when
question
it does,
becomes,
it usually makes boatloads.
yes, but the question becomes, is it return on your investment?
Well, that's
is
the thing.
always the thing. It's like
Marvel,
if I can make less money, but I do less work, sometimes
exactly.
that,
Marvel has made crap films since Endgame, but I don't
Yeah.
think any of them have lost substantially. Some of
Yeah.
them I'm sure have, but most of them I've probably at the very least broke even, if not made a few million.
Right. So they'll keep pumping them out.
Yeah, and it's like, well, see, that's the thing. You go, well, how do they? What does it take for them to lose money? I mean, they're starting to do it now because it's been 5 years, 6 years. So I suppose goodwill does dry up eventually, but it takes a long bloody time. So anyways, I just think stuff like this is good to support because it's what we need and what is actually I don't know if it's because, again, it's not like it's a guarantee to be good just because a guy likes what he's doing. But in some ways, you just go, wouldn't the savvier investment strategy, if I had just buckets of cash, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to sink $300 million into a giant blockbuster that has to be so corporately sanded down in order to ensure I make that money back by making it completely milquetoast. And even then, you don't know if you'll do it. It's like, well, how about, okay, I'll take $10 million. I'll give it to 5 filmmakers. I'll give them $2 million each.
Right.
4 of them could flop, and even if only one of them is successful, they're usually so successful that it's like, okay, well, you make your money back. And that's precisely how most investment strategies work, to be honest.
Correct.
It's like most investors lose It's just that they know how to manage losses, and their losses are always smaller than their wins. So it's like, okay, yeah, $20 million I'll give to 10 people to make $2 million films.
Sure.
And if one of them turns out, I'll probably make my money back.
Right.
And at least we got to experiment with 10 different possible films.
Right.
Because even the ones that,
and then you learn what works and what doesn't.
well, and even the ones that don't succeed financially still might have artistic value, because plenty of films don't succeed even though they're good.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a matter of,
People like them or not.
well, it can be.
Well, sometimes it's a reception of the particular culture, because I know there's certain films that have now
There's
played
that. There's
later.
also some that are just the studios, like just the way they're marketed is terrible.
Right. Well, like,
like,
for
well, that's
instance,
not the guy's
Newsies.
fault.
Newsies is a great example of that, where that film in its day didn't land at all. And then they basically have said, looking at it in the later years, they go, it basically was an early, now this is going to really make it sound bad, so don't just hear me out. It's got thematic and theatric, maybe is a better word, theatrical elements that are similar to that of High School Musical, those kinds of things that made massive loads of cash when they came out.
Did they?
And it's because
Sure they did.
culturally now that kind of almost Broadway-ish style is more received on film now, whereas
I
back in the day it
suppose.
wasn't.
Did
And
you
so,
really? I mean, I suppose they must have. The High School Musical films must have made money. That's why they made 3 of them.
yeah.
But I never thought about this, and now I'm sad.
I said, this is going to make it sound bad. But again, Newsies to me was a better version of that. And basically what they've said is if it was released in that culture, like in the late
Yeah, but that happens all the
90s,
time.
early 2000s, it would
The
have been
Thing
better
is a
received.
classic now, but it was
Right, exactly.
totally rejected on the time.
Yeah.
It's like, so even then, it's like, if I had buckets of cash, I wouldn't even care if they made the money back. I'd be like, just make a film you want. And if you make the money back, then that's great. If you don't, but the film's still good, then that's still worth the money, in my opinion.
Right.
And those that don't make it, you should be like, well, learn
Try
from
again.
this and try, do it
Yeah.
again. I mean, I'm not sure I'll give you the money, depending.
Yeah.
Depends on what you make, I suppose.
Yeah,
Anyways, have we got our reasonable opinions out of the way?
I think so.
It says to press any key. Okay. Apparently I didn't press it hard enough. So now we're actually going to figure out how much of this we missed. I mean, they did a pretty reasonable... I mean, I knew enough... I had seen enough screenshots to know that they had done a pretty close job of the... We are not hearing the radio chatter. Then again, I suppose we just did. There's already a leak.
Approaching maximum depth. The hole's feeling it, but it's still holding strong.
I am not yet in control so far as I can tell.
We're starting to lose radio signal. You'll be at cruise depth soon, so
Did you catch that Jacksepticeye was in the film?
you're on your own.
I knew it only because I know his actual name. Oh, okay.
Can we actually listen to the radio better? Because I feel like
Well, we turned it down on purpose. So basically, yeah, they faithfully recreated the control panel. Oh, wow. Okay, so like, I mean, I suppose I should have recognized that they do it faithfully, but like, super faithfully. Except there's not even a seat. This is even more dystopian. Ah. Oh. How about that? Direct reference. So, yeah, lots of context that I figured they'd have followed it pretty closely. I also appreciated the fact that the guy who made the game was part of the team. It's like, well, of course.
Well, yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
That helps.
Yeah, so that's basically a direct reference. And that also implies, one thing I wasn't sure about is how much this weird cult he seems to have been a part of, whether that was in the game or not. But it seems like, yeah, it seems to have been.
What cult? I don't know if I missed that.
Well, either it was a cult or a terrorist organization or whatever he was a part of.
I guess that's more what I got the vibe
Informational
of. is-
terminal. Oh, okay, I can type. Okay, yeah, I figured. Okay, well, what am I here for? Map. It's basically an exact recreation as well. So I'm figuring out a bunch of stuff, but I don't know where I am. Mouse over nodes for information. These are coordinates. What are my current coordinates? 182, 116. See, there's already a drip. There's a lot of them. 182, 116. I don't, which one's the X and which is the Y? X, 182. 116. So I'm roughly here. Be nice. I want the pencil he had so I can mark this up. So I want to go. So this is going to be actually genuinely kind of. This is going to be a lot more technical than I thought. So I got to go up to roughly straight up till 200Y. I'm guessing. Okay. Okay, so I hold it up until around 200. It's going to take a while. I just realized I'm starting out with no oxygen.
No, that's not true. It's up at the top.
Well, in his, it was full all the way, which I think makes more sense from an interface standpoint. Okay, so roughly... Okay, Okay, so it will, in fact, if you hold it for long enough, you will kind of project forward further than you intend to. Do I have the beepy sensors when I get close to stuff? So I'm roughly around here. So now I want to do a hard turn. Okay, it's spacier than it looked. I should probably figure out. Okay, so this is the first place I want to go. 322186. So 322186. I'm also going to have to go down slightly. So I wonder if I can. Oh, that's probably too much. 322186. What? No, I'm going too fast. Well, let's see what that was. I think that's my grandmother.
What?
I don't know. That's got more ink blot to it than anything else. The picture stays for longer. Does it stay until you do?
It stays pretty long in the.
It wasn't that long. I wonder if it stays until you do another one. They might have done that in the film just to add suspense. I did have the wonder, it's like, this is a terrible layout, but then again, I suppose maybe that's like, well, it's cobbled together out of scraps. But it's like, you'd think you'd want all the controls in relatively the same place. Okay, well, so I've got to go to 322186, but if I go forward, I'm going to hit something.
Well, probably you just were close to the side.
Well, maybe I'm angled too far down. Well, except I've got to go further down. Is that, you reckon? Okay, so it does go away eventually. Do you reckon this is just a wall I'm looking at here?
I don't know.
I suppose it is.
Kind of looks like one.
Okay. In that case, I'll tell you what I wish I had, but I know the reason I don't is because it would be too easy. Is I wish if I hovered over this, it would tell me what the exact coordinates were. But that would no doubt be too much of a nicety. So I'm at 195. 195, 195, or 199, 195. So I'm basically right. Okay, I'm probably about to hit this. This has elements of, what was it called? Space Harrier or whatever that. What was the game where you had to land the lunar lander and it was really, really hard? Was it just called Lunar Lander?
I don't remember that
It's
one.
the buttons are floaty enough that that they move more than you think they will when you press them. Okay, so when I get to 3, 2, I'm still gonna hit it. Well, let's see what it is. Ain't nothing.
You have to be facing it in order to take a picture of it, so you'd turn around.
Well, see, I suppose that is true. But again, then why would the controls for the camera, if the camera's on the front, why would the controls be in the back of the ship? What are you then, lad?
That's just wall.
I think it's a fibristic cyst.
It's a fibrist.
I think I'm actually in some kind of alien birth canal.
I actually thought that initially when he was in the cave. I was like, this is just inside of something.
Well, I think that may still have been the case. It's just that probably by the end of it, it seems like they're clearly going with the idea that the ocean itself is alive.
Well, because the
fact that when the blood gets in, it starts to mutate. It's like, okay, so it's not. This is clearly a living. The entire
organism.
ocean is basically a living organism.
Well, and when he was in the cave and it was like the weird, what did he say, weird alien shit. I was like, it's probably its sphincter. Like, I was like, just eject, go through. You'll get out to the other side and find your freedom.
I'm still close to a wall. No.
Throw in some conspiracy theories and say that once he pushed through
Okay, I'm
the
further
anal
away.
sphincter, he was into the actual inside of the planet, which was the...
Well, that was the other thought, is like, maybe is it the entire planet's alive?
Well, I guess that could be true, yeah.
Okay, we're coming up on 322. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of a southern jettison.
322? You're past 322.
No, I'm not. I'm at 274.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Wrong way, wrong way. So now maybe I can start heading further down. 322-186 is what I'm after. At the current trajectory, I might just make it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, too close, too close. I'm going to call 187 good enough for now. And I'm going to go to 322. Well, the inefficiency of this control scheme, I'm sure, is part of the tension. Like the fact that I'm having to do these awkward, weird clicks without actually knowing where I'm at. Right, so I got to go 10 clicks or whatever these units are directly south of here. And I suppose if I do that, I'll be facing directly at whatever I'm looking at. How specific is it? No, it's just 322-186, so I'm going to call this close enough. Unless I need to be actually at 322 exactly. I don't know how specific the game is. Alrighty. Well, this is going to be a face. It's a Japanese spider crab doing the conga. It's a bunch of them. Is that even the direction I'm supposed to look at?
I mean, it seemed reasonable that that's probably what it was that you're supposed to look at.
Well, I'm going to do a full 360 since I can't. Oh, briefing. For the first time, the fourth blood ocean. Oh. Photograph is behind. Okay, so that's just kind of obvious stuff. Alrighty. I am curious if there's any benefit to doing like a full 360. Ooh. Okay, yes, if only because what the heck. It's a bunch of narcoleptic penguins. Whoop, I keep getting weird freezes. I don't know if that's the game or the recording causing that. So we had weird crispy straws in the one. Okay, I swear I keep getting weird hang-ups. Okay, some more weird crispy straws. Yeah, okay, I don't know why it's glitching out every couple. It seems like every couple frames it like hangs. Okay, that's probably just a wall. All right, so we got some weird fried onions on the bottom of the blood ocean and some standing penguins. I want to head basically a 45 degree, except I might run into that. So let's go. I can appreciate that this is actually how navigation would be done in a situation like this. Let's go at a slight, let's go 2 o'clock. And then actually I want to go to 378-263. I want to get about halfway there, and then 378. Whoop, okay, we're getting close to the edge. Should avoid hitting it though. It's only blinking slightly. And it's passed. Okay, we're good, so I'm going to level out. Up. Okay, hang on. 378-263. Clearly I turned too sharply. Should be arriving. Whoop, wrong way. 2, 3, 7, 8, 263. I gone too far. I can back up. Can't I? Wait. I got my X and Y crossed. Dang it. 3, 7, 8. Went too far. 3, 7, 8. Oh, 263. I want to go down. I suppose one thing that we're lacking is some of the atmosphere that no doubt the audio would give us.
That's probably true.
Let's go a direct 180 degrees. 263. Alrighty. What do we got here? Because without the atmosphere, this is almost more interesting than creepy. Probably looking at a wall facing this direction. More weird straw bits. Doesn't seem like there's much of interest yet. Even the stuff we've seen, we don't know what it is. Yeah, like whatever that is all I'm getting, and I'm not sure. Does something happen if I actually click on these? Can I mark these and say whatever the heck they are? Getting here is going to be a bit of a pain. All right, setting our heading 325, 300. I'd have to do math. I need one of those. I need a compass and a little table. I can do the thing. So from where I am, you have to do vector mathematics to get to 300, 325. This is what it'd be like being on a ship in World War II. Whatever the vector is between here and there, I'm just going to call it a cool 45.
What's your vector, Victor?
That would not be a ship, but I'm calling it a cool 45, and we're going there. What did I say it was? 300, 325. All right, I'm almost at 3. Well, actually, whoop, okay. I am hearing something. I don't think I'm close enough for this, what I'm beeping at, to be the wall.
You should go take a picture of it.
I should, except I don't know that I want to.
Sure you do. So it makes the game interesting.
Creepy.
It just looks like a wall.
Creepy spinach.
Creepy spinach.
That giant seaweed stuff. I don't think that's this wall though. I guess that's just a random obstruction.
Well, where are you at? 308?
Because the wall, I'm aiming for right here. The sort of
Well, you
middle
could
of
be
this
at
passage.
308.
No, I'm at I want to be at 300, 325, and right now I'm at 337, 308. So I don't think that's the wall yet, but just to be cautious, we'll skirt past the seaweed patch. All right, so I'm still aiming for 300, 325. I'm gonna go back to 45 degrees. We're getting there. We should now be directly in the middle of this channel. I basically want to keep on this course, straight 45 until I hit 353, 275. So we're going to stay, I'm going to level out. 350, 275. It's far more technical than I expected, but I kind of appreciate that, to be honest. 350, 275. What are you? It's just more driftwood. 350, 275. This is where I wanted to be. Right around here. I want to head almost due north until I hit, until I hit 259, 406. Head almost due north, but not quite. I've already forgotten it.
406.
249, 406. 249, 406.
259.
I'm going to need to straighten more out this way. 59, 406. Probably still need to do a little bit more that way. Saving progress. Does that mean something's about to happen? Was it 406?
406 to 59.
Okay, so 406 to a hard turn. Sort of feels like what it would actually be to be a space pilot, although I'd have other people doing this. I'd be telling them what to do and they'd do it for me. 256. What are we looking at? I'm just waiting for one of these to be a face. Ooh!
Ooh, that's creepy.
I don't
Carly.
like that. Yeah, it looks like legs.
Just make your turn just a little more. What would that be, though? Is that
I
this
don't know,
way or
a
that
giant
way?
undersea tarantula?
Something like that.
The devil's play pit.
Is that what you're calling it?
It seems apt. You know, it's like a McDonald's in hell. That's what the kids are running around in. They're secretly intestines. So yeah, I don't like that none. Is that all that's around here? And some bricklebrack.
Or tubulars.
So we got some weird demonic playpen and some grass. I don't think I want, this looks awfully narrow. Might be safer to go down this way. I don't know what these A values are for. Is that altitude maybe? Can I even control that? I think I'm stuck at the depth I'm at. I've gone down some oxygen. None of these valves are usable. So I don't seem to be able to adjust my depth.
You're quite literally out of your depth.
Oh, okay. I can, in fact, use the fire extinguisher. Can't do nothing here. All right, so I can't. I don't know what these A's are though, because these are wildly different. 296, 50, 33. Is that altitude? I don't think you'd call it altitude underwater. Yeah, that stays up a long while. I mean, I'm still finding things at each of these places, so I'm guessing that doesn't have anything to do with it, but we're going to try the Northwest Passage. I want to aim for... I feel like I need to talk into Commander Kirk voice, or Captain...
We need to aim.
Set heading 325, 433, I guess. I've already forgotten it. It's a very on brand. 325, 440, let's call it. 325, 440. Aye, aye, Captain. 325, 440.
Chip's log. I have completely.
Broken all of my pencils.
If you want to know the best Star Trek parody that exists in an unlikely place, it's in an episode of Adventures in Odyssey. And I'm not even joking. It's literally the best Star Trek parody that exists.
It's the Star. What is it called?
I have no memory at all what it's called.
Star Quest.
But it's great.
It's Star Quest. I'm pretty sure it is.
So hang on. 325, 440 is what I said.
Because I remember that episode.
Because I was like,
325. Because it's I forget the best part of it. Me and my dad quote sometimes, but it's. Now I'm forgetting how it starts though. It's like, what's our position? We're getting pretty close, Captain. It's, current speed, really fast. Arrival time, not too long. It's just like really dumb. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is. Right, 440 is what we were looking for. Hang on. 440. Wasn't it? Oh, 440X. No, 440Y. I'm going the wrong way. 440, 325. So far, nothing horrific has happened. Aside from the dingy surroundings, this would be an interesting objective.
you already passed 440.
Whoop, yes I did. That's why you're here, second officer.
You didn't even have that.
440, 325. Well, I don't need to be that specific. We haven't hit anything, so I'm roughly here. I want to go about whatever that is, straight 45.
I'm just going to call them degrees down bubble.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even know what a click.
Literally, that's what it would be in
I don't know
subs.
I don't know what a click is.
Well, no, it's not a click. That's a kilometer, but
I don't know that it is. I think
It
a click
is.
is just whatever you set it to be.
well, maybe.
I
But
feel like anything could be a click so long as everyone agrees.
In subs, it's degrees. 3 degrees down bubble or 3 degrees over to.
Why bubble? What's the bubble?
I'm not sure, but that I knew that from Hunt for Red October.
I'm sure you did. All right, we seem to have been clear of the obstruction. Seem to be doing fine. All right, our actual target is 400, 325. Whoop, something's How did something get behind me when I wasn't moving? Is it our fishy friend? Ah, it's just some grass. Ah, I've already forgotten it again. What was it?
I don't know.
I'm terrible at memorizing these things. 400, 325, or it's 325, 400, I should say. 325, 400. Ah! Okay, where am I? 362, 415. 362, 415. I should be in the middle of nowhere. Well, then what are you? I'm going the wrong way. Do I have any kind of measure of hull integrity? Let's see if I can get a peep at both of these at once. Ooh. Okay, I see a face. Say it's a low-resolution image of a Klan meeting. All right, what did I say? 324, 400?
325 because it's right in the middle.
400, 325 is what I want. So 400x 325y. 400x. Why do I keep getting too close to things? This is a
I
narrower
think you have
passage.
your X and Y crossed again.
400X. Okay, I'm at 384. 384, 384, 420-ish. 384, 420-ish. I'm going to hit the wall. I'm nowhere near where I thought I was.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's have a look at this wall. Yeah, it's just a bunch of Klansmen still. All right, so I can basically just head due south from here. I was not where I thought I was at all. Okay, the wall is bleeping faster. I guess it does have a slight curvature. Slight concavity. Ah, okay, good grief. It was 400, 325, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
400, 325. Relatively clear sailing right now, it seems. Does it qualify as sailing when you're under the ocean? I mean, I suppose it shouldn't really qualify as sailing when you're not using sails. But they still call it that. Alright, we're getting close to 400, 325. Well, we're close enough. I got a big expanse of nothing. I'm going to head to 550, 325. Basically gonna head straight this way. Navigating a tight passage. High degree of difficulty. Alright, 550 I said. We're squeezing through. Okay, we're in clear water. Yeah, so far I'm finding this more interesting than unnerving. Again, probably due to the lack of audio ambience. I suppose conceptually it would be freaky, like being conscripted and sealed in this thing, but I'm not in that position. I did this willingly. Okay, 550, 325, minor correction. Oh, the outside wind is now deciding to give us some ambience. Oh, whoa, whoa,
okay,
whoa!
that came up out of nowhere, and it's very quick.
And it went away.
And it went away.
Okay, now
Can you,
that
can
I
you
didn't
turn
like.
and look and see?
I don't think I
where
want to
it's
look,
even-
and it's probably not there. Howdy. Oh, you're tricksy. Excuse you. Oh, it's getting screwy. Can I fix that? Do I just have to deal with it? Put out the... Well, so clearly a fire is going to break out at some point if they gave me the ability to use that. I don't know if that's a threat or not.
Certainly seemed like one.
Whoa, careful there. Well, I'm still going to 550, 325 if whoever that was didn't mind leaving me alone. 550, 325, head due south. 560, 270 is where I want to be. 270? Wait, what?
I think you're getting your Y's and your X's crossed
I
again.
am. I don't know why. 560, yeah. 560. Oh, yeah, of course, going south would be. I think that's a fire hazard.
Sure it is, but
Well,
Doing
it's
it
good that
anyway.
you agree. 550. We're going to go 2 degrees off due south. Until we hit 550. Oh, no, I want to be 560, don't I? So I actually want to go slightly past this. All right, 277. Coming up on a thing here. 560, 277. I passed it. 5, 6, okay, 2, 7, 7. Good grief. Passed it again. If there is a living thing out here, it's going to wonder what I'm doing.
You're trying to confuse it.
I keep. Okay. I'm doing an 11-point turn in the ocean here. Okay, 5, 60, 2, 7, 7. I want to head due north. Okay, so north is 0 degrees by the look of it. Two is good enough for me. Given how fast I cover this distance, I don't know what these are supposed to be, so that's just going to stay that way, it would seem. All right, hi. Sorry I bumped into you. It's a creepy asparagus. It's like if VeggieTales was made by sadists. Ooh. I don't think I like it.
I missed that one.
It's like a demonic blow up in front of a business.
Oh dear.
You want to get your do you want to get your demonic taxes filed here?